Hello everyone, we're going to do some Java review today. We're going to be using Eclipse. You'll find obviously Android apps are written in Java. That's the language we'll be using throughout the course, and I realize some of you might be rusty in Java. It may have been a while since you had your Java 1 class here or wherever else you may have taken it. So we'll do some basic stuff, and as this project progresses, we'll get into some more complicated stuff. Android uses some of the more advanced features of Java, so it's good for you to be aware of them. And in some cases, there'll be stuff that is new to you that you may not have seen in Java 1. So don't worry about it. We'll figure it out. But anyways, we're going to do some review. Now, you can't use Android Studio for regular Java apps, so that's why I had you install Eclipse, and I've just done that myself. I just got the latest version of Eclipse. I'll show you how to do it right now. I'm going to pull up my browser here and just do a search for Eclipse download, and that'll pull up the Eclipse.org's website. Go ahead and I'm just going to click on this one. So here's the URL. I think I've included that on Blackboard for you, and the one that you want to install is going to be Eclipse IDE for Java developers. Now there's a 32-bit version. The browser is detecting that I have Windows. You might have a Mac, I'm not sure, but at least for Windows you'll have a choice of either a 32-bit or a 64-bit version to download. Now you need to make sure that if you have a 64-bit version of Java installed, that you download the 64-bit version of Eclipse. We ran into some problems last semester. We all had the 64-bit version of Eclipse, and then the Western PC services updated Java, and they installed a 32-bit version of Java like halfway through the semester, and our Eclipse didn't work with it at all. So we had to uninstall the 32-bit version and reinstall the 64-bit version of Java. So I believe that if you've got the 64-bit version of Java, you need to have the 64-bit version of Eclipse. And by the way, you can tell, there's kind of a weird way that you can tell what version of Java you're running. I'm just pulling up a command prompt here. I'm assuming you all know how to do that. And I'm just going to type in Java. Now, I'm assuming that you've already installed Java. But in case and if you have, you can run this command. So I'm just typing in Java at the command prompt and then dash version. Now, one thing that's a little bit weird here is you can see right here is it says this is the 64-bit version right here. If you've installed the 32-bit version, you won't see anything. It won't say 32-bit version, and it won't say 64-bit version. I don't know why they do that. But anyways, I've got the 64-bit version of Java installed here, and I've downloaded the 64-bit version of Eclipse. So I've already done that. I'm going to fire it up for the very first time. So I'll close my browser here, and Eclipse is nice because it doesn't actually install anything on your system. It's just a folder with an Eclipse executable in it. So I downloaded the file and unzipped it, and it came out as this. After I unzipped it, it was just this Eclipse folder, and I dragged that onto my desktop. So if I double click on that here, I'll see all the files that came in the zip, and all I have to do is double click on the exe right here, Eclipse exe. So as of today, the latest version of Eclipse is called the Mars version. So this will take a minute, and what it's doing now is it's asking me where I want to store all my project files for all my Eclipse projects. Now, if this is your first time using Eclipse, I think it will choose a default location for you automatically. I wanted to store my workspace on my iDrive because that's backed up. So what I did is I think you would just hit the browse button here, and then you could do navigate to wherever you want to store your workspace, and then do make new folder, and then all your project files when you fire up Eclipse will be stored in that place. So make sure you make a note of where it is. And I think that's it for that. So I'm going to hit OK here. So you can have multiple workspaces too. So if you will have different groups of projects and you want to store them in different places, you can have more than one folder that serves as a workspace for Eclipse. I've only got one right here, but if I had more, you'd see them all appear in the drop down, and I would choose the one that I wanted to use. So just so that you're aware of this. So I'm just going to hit OK here, and it should fire up Eclipse. All right, so here's what you should see when you launch Eclipse for the very first time. It's called the welcome screen. I'm just going to go ahead and close that. Just close that tab right here. And now this is going to be your working area. I'm not sure if anybody's used Eclipse or not. I'm going to assume that you haven't. It's pretty straightforward to use, although it might look a little intimidating, but it does a lot of different things, and you can use it for lots of languages, not just Java.